3 years ago, most of these places didn't exist. No foot washing stations, no misting systems, no clay paths built specifically so people could walk barefoot. Now there are hundreds of them all across Korea, funded by cities, maintained by local governments, used every single day by thousands of people. It is a massive change that happened almost overnight. So today, I want to actually answer the question I get asked the most. Why is this happening? Why is Korea, of all places, building this much infrastructure just for walking barefoot? It seems a bit crazy at first glance, right? But there is a very logical reason behind it all. Let's get into it. First, quick context for anyone new here. This is called earthing, or grounding. Basically, it is direct skin contact with the ground, walking barefoot on natural surfaces like dirt, clay, grass, or sand. In Korea, it is usually called manbal gotgi, which literally translates to bare feet walking. It has become a national phenomenon that everyone is talking about.
And here is the part that surprises most people outside Korea. This isn't just something individuals do on their own time. It is something local governments are actively building infrastructure for. We are talking about real public budgets, real construction projects, real maintenance staff. This is official. That is the part I want to unpack today. Not just what this is, but why a government would spend money on it.
This movement is genuinely recent. We are talking about the last 3 to 4 years for it to go from a niche health habit to a nationwide trend. Before that, barefoot walking existed in Korea, but it was mostly individual. You might see one person doing it quietly in a local park, on their own. But now you see groups of 50 or 100 people together. What changed is that local governments started noticing two things at the same time. First, a wave of interest in natural, low-cost health practices, especially among older adults. In Korea, health is a major topic of conversation. People are always looking for ways to stay active without putting too much strain on their joints. Barefoot walking fits that perfectly.
Second, they realized they already had the raw material for this. Korea has a lot of mountain trails, public parks, and green spaces already built. Turning a section of an existing path into a barefoot-friendly area isn't a massive infrastructure project. It is a relatively small modification with a big visible impact. It is smart urban recycling.
So, one city would build a barefoot path, people would visit, local news would cover it, then a neighboring city would build their own, often nicer, often bigger. This is genuinely how it spread, almost city to city, like a quiet kind of competition between mayors to see who could provide the best wellness service for their citizens. Now, here is the real question. Why would a city government spend its budget on this? There are a few reasons, and they all connect to each other. Reason 1, preventive public health. Korea is aging fast. Local governments are under real pressure to keep older residents healthy and mobile. They want to prevent illness before it starts. The cost of treating chronic conditions later is much higher than the cost of encouraging movement now. Barefoot walking is low impact, low cost, and easy for elderly residents to do daily. It keeps their circulation moving and their muscles engaged. It is a smart financial move for the city's long-term healthcare budget. Reason 2, it is genuinely low-cost infrastructure. Compared to building a new gym or community center, converting a section of an existing park into a barefoot-friendly path is relatively inexpensive. Clearing debris, laying clean soil or clay, adding a wash station, it's a high-impact project for a small budget. Politicians love projects that show immediate results without costing millions. Reason 3, local pride and tourism. A well-known barefoot trail brings visitors from other cities. It gets covered by local press and goes viral on social media. It becomes something a region is known for. That is valuable for smaller cities competing for attention and visitors. It creates a healing brand for the entire district. Put those three together and you get exactly what we're seeing. Fast, wide adoption, driven by local governments instead of just private business. It is an organized effort to improve the quality of life. These aren't just dirt paths. They are managed facilities with cleaning schedules and quality control. This level of maintenance is what makes it unique.
I've looked into how other countries approach earthing, and the difference is pretty clear. In most places, if barefoot walking is supported at all, it is usually informal, a beach, a trail, or a backyard. But in Korea, it is designed and maintained like real public infrastructure. It is part of the urban plan, not an afterthought.
Look at these facilities. Foot washing stations, so people can clean up immediately after their walk. Many even have high-pressure air guns to blow the dust off your legs and ergonomic benches to sit on while you dry your feet. It is so convenient that you can do it during your lunch break and head back to work clean.
Then there are the misting systems. These are used to keep the clay paths moist and comfortable, especially in the dry summer heat. It creates this cool, refreshing atmosphere that keeps the ground at the perfect consistency. If the clay is too dry, it's hard. If it's too wet, it's a mess. These systems keep it just right.
And in some regions, they have built heated or covered paths. Sometimes these are inside greenhouse-style structures, so people can keep walking through the cold winter months. This part especially surprised me. Walking barefoot in winter sounds impossible, but Korea has engineered a way to make it a year-round activity. They really don't want people to stop. This is the part I think is genuinely unique to Korea. Not just that barefoot walking exists, but that it's been engineered into something accessible in nearly any season for almost any age group. It removes all the excuses. No matter the weather, you can find a place to ground yourself. This is the K-earthing standard.
And that brings me to who actually uses these spaces the most. It is not primarily young people chasing a trend. In a lot of these parks, the majority of daily visitors are older adults. For them, this isn't just a workout. It is a social routine, a reason to leave the house, move their body, and see familiar faces.
In a country dealing with one of the fastest aging populations in the world, that is not a small thing. These parks are becoming unofficial community centers where people support each other's health. It is a beautiful sight to see so many people taking their well-being into their own hands, or rather, their own feet. So to answer the question, why is Korea building this much infrastructure for barefoot walking? Because it is cheap to build, genuinely popular, and lines up with the country's biggest challenge, an aging population that needs accessible ways to stay active. It is a practical solution to a complex demographic problem. It just makes sense. That is the foundation of this channel. Every video from here is going to go deeper into one piece of this, a specific location, a specific product for walking barefoot indoors, or a specific story from someone who's been doing this for years. If you want to actually see one of these premium places in detail, that is coming next.
This is Grounding Korea. I am June. Subscribe if you want to keep following this journey. There is a lot more to show you about the world of K-earthing. Don't forget to take your shoes off today and feel the earth. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.